Okay, so to calculate the perimeter of a cylinder, the formula is C equals to 2 pi r. Okay, I'm sure you're wondering, why is it C instead of P? We are looking for the perimeter, so why is there a C here? Now, in cylinder, the perimeter can also be seen as the circumference, okay? It's rather known as the circumference. For the cylinder, we talk about the circumference of the circular base rather than the perimeter, okay? So the formula for the perimeter, also the circumference of a circle, is this: C equals to 2 pi r. So now, as you are looking for the perimeter of a cylinder, it's just like you are looking for the circumference of the cylinder, okay? You are looking for the circumference of the cylinder. Do you understand? If you have a cylinder and you want to find the perimeter of its circular base, you would use this formula, okay? C equals to 2 pi r. Do you understand? So let's look at an example to help us understand what we're saying. A cylinder has a circular base and the radius of the base is 3 units. Find the perimeter, which is also the circumference. Now, the radius is 3 units. This is C, which is the circumference, right? Also the perimeter is equals to 2 pi r. The r is the radius, okay? The r is the radius. Now, pi here, what we are going to be using to represent pi is 3.14 or 22/7. Okay, whichever you would like to use, is it 3.14 or 22/7, you will arrive at the correct answer. Okay, so we're looking for the perimeter of a cylinder or the circumference. Okay, so we're going to be using this formula: C equals to 2 pi r, and r is the radius. Okay, so C equals to 2 pi r, we're going to be imputing our numbers into the formula. C stands for the circumference, right, or the perimeter, is equals to 2 times pi. You can either use this value 3.14 or 22/7. So here we are using 22/7 times 3. So C is equals to 2 times 22/7 times 3. 7 cannot divide 2. 7 cannot divide 22 without a remainder. And 7 cannot divide 3, so we just multiply, okay? 2 times 23 times 3 is going to give you what? 352, right? Over 7. Now you are going to divide using the long division method, okay? 352/7, if you divide it, is going to give you 50.28, okay? So the circumference or the perimeter of a cylinder is 50.28. If you don't want to use 22/7, you use the point, okay? You can say 2 times 3.14 times 3, okay? Instead of using 22/7 for the pi, you can use 3.14. So you multiply this together, and when you multiply, what is going to be your answer? 50.24. It's still the same thing, it's just the approximation, okay? Do you understand? Good. So next we're going to be looking at how to calculate the area of a cylinder. We now know how to calculate the perimeter of a cylinder using the formula. Now we're going to be calculating the area of a cylinder. Okay? The formula for the area of a cylinder is A equals to pi times r squared. Okay? When you're calculating the area of a cylinder, the formula is equals to pi times r squared. So let's look at an example. A cylinder with a circular base and the radius of the base is 4 units. Find the area of the circular base. So to find the area of the circular base, this is the formula we're going to be using to find the area of the circular base. Okay, A equals to pi times r squared. So we are going to be using this formula, A equals to pi times r squared. Then we are going to input our number into the formula. Okay, pi is 3.14. Like I said, you can use 22/7 or 3.14 as your pi. They are still the same, okay? Times 4. 4 is the radius, right? So instead of writing r again, you write 4. You input 4 raised to power 2. So we have area is equal to 3.14 times 16. How did we get 16? 4 times 4. Because 4 is raised to power 2, it means 4 times 4, right? 4 times 4 is going to give us what? 16. So 3.14 times 16 is going to give us what? 50.24. So the area of a circular base that the radius is 4 units, the area is 50.24. Okay? Do you understand? The area is 50.24. So we now know how to calculate the area of a cylinder, right? Using this formula. Okay, that is good. Next, we're going to be looking at calculating the perimeter of a parallelogram. Okay? Calculating the perimeter of a parallelogram. To calculate the perimeter of a parallelogram, the formula is P, which is perimeter, is equals to 2 times bracket length plus breadth. Okay? This is the formula used to calculate the perimeter of a parallelogram. So let's look at an example to use this formula, okay? A parallelogram with the length of 8 units and the breadth of 5 units. Calculate the perimeter. We have to calculate the perimeter of a parallelogram that the length is 8 units and the breadth is 5 units. So we are going to be using this formula, P equals to 2 times bracket length plus breadth bracket close, okay? P equals to 2 times bracket length plus breadth bracket close. So we are going to be imputing our numbers into the formula, okay? Which is 2 times bracket, the length here is 8, okay? You write 8, and the breadth is 5, you write 5. Next, you deal with the bracket, which is 8 plus 5 is going to give you what? 8 plus 5 is going to give you what? When you add 8 plus 5, it's going to give you 13. So we have here 2 times 13. 2 times 13 is going to give you what if you multiply it? Multiply 2 times 13. What is going to be your answer? 26, right? You got 26. So P equals to 26. Perimeter is equals to 26. The perimeter of a parallelogram that the length is 8 units and the breadth is 5 units is 26, okay? The perimeter is 26. Do you understand that? Good. So next we're going to be looking at calculating the area of a parallelogram, okay? We have known how to calculate for the perimeter. Now we're going to be looking at how to calculate the area, okay? The area of a parallelogram. The formula in calculating the area of a parallelogram is A equals to length times height. When calculating the area of a parallelogram is A equals to length times height. Okay? So we're going to be looking at an example to help us use this formula. a parallelogram with a length of 10 units and the height of 7 units. Find the area. A parallelogram with a length of 10 units and a height of 7 units. We have to find the area. So we're going to be using this formula to find the area of a parallelogram, okay? A is equals to, which is area, is equals to length times height. The length here is 10 units, so we have 10, and the height is 7, so we have 7, okay? So 10 times 7 is going to give us what? When you calculate 10 times 7, what is it going to give you? So the area is equals to 70. 10 times 7 is 70, right? So the area of a parallelogram that the length is 10 units and the height is 7 units is 70, okay? 70. Do you understand? Good. So we now know how to calculate the area of a parallelogram, right? Do we? Good. So we looked at two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional shapes, right? In today's lesson, we looked at how to calculate the area of a square, how to calculate the length of a square, the perimeter of a square, the area of a rectangle, the length of a rectangle, the breadth of a rectangle, the perimeter of a rectangle. We also looked at calculating the perimeter of a triangle, the area of a triangle. Then we looked at three-dimensional shapes. We looked at the cylinder and parallelogram, right? How to calculate the perimeter and the area of a cylinder, and also how to calculate the perimeter and the area of a parallelogram. So we understood today's lesson on measurement of shapes, right? Good. So next we are going to be looking at our assignment. I'm sure we're going to be able to do our assignment, right? Okay, that is good.